What happened after you had sex with your best friend? We fell in love and dated for a couple of years, got engaged, then she died suddenly of a PE at 25. That was 13 years ago. I still miss her. She was one of the best people I've ever known. Edit, correcting the time that sucks bro. I'm glad you got some good memories together and wish you'd. This chick was over here with the master plan. Had a personal pussy eater with zero commitment or effort on her part. I read your comments that you were totally cool with it, so good for you, but she had this set up. Imagine some girl you know comes to suck your dick a few times a week and you don't have to do a damn thing for it. A miracle. Just for future endeavors, how is it that you reached an agreement about doing that? Did you ask her directly? I told her in my drunkenness that I was nervous that I was not good at it and she said you can practice on me. I thought she was joking. She was not. It never got between our friendship though and we still make jokes about it when we get drunk. I mean I probably would have been okay after a few lessons but we kept it going. We were very close and people thought we were fucking anyway so it just seemed right. Although we never actually had penetrative sex. I dated her, helped deliver her daughter, raised her daughter as mine, and don't regret it. Bought a house, moved in together, she began hating being a mother and staying at home all the time, started cheating with coworkers, got exposed by her 2-year-old daughter. Please don't even ask how. I packed my shit and left immediately. Now she makes TikToks about how shitty I am to this day. Yet the only thing I miss about that relationship is being a father to that baby. Now she's the reason I don't think I'll ever date a woman with kids or are pregnant. Nothing against those beautiful women, but I'm honestly traumatized, because I still miss that kid every day. Edit, shit, not shift. That sucks a whole lot of ass. It's amazing how one person can imprint such negativity that carries on in our lives years and years later, and alters decisions we make even though the situation was unique to that specific person. I'm a guy and I had a guy buddy who I swear wanted it. He'd make all these gay comments jokingly, but one time we were alone and I grabbed him from behind to roughhouse. He jokingly started grinding on me and I went with it. He was starting to moan then snapped out of it and got all embarrassed and was trying to act macho the rest of the night. I feel bad for him. If he had been honest with himself about his preferences he'd be a much happier man. And I would have fucked the shit out of him of course. Your loss Gary. Gary with a silent R. We had sex again. And again. And again. Somewhere around year 2 of fucking but being just friends after we had literally moved in together we had the relationship talk and it was more me saying hey, we live together, we share at least a meal today, plan chores etc. and if one of us is out on the town, odds are the other is along for the ride. We check all the boxes. I'm pretty sure we're a couple. Thoughts? Anyway we've been married for over 3 years now, together for 5, they're still my best friend. Buying a house together soon. Guess I'll be the anomaly here and say, we did a few times. No romantic feelings developed on either side. We're still very much best friends. No awkwardness, no hesitation on the friendship. Meeting the girl he wants to marry, soon and I'm so excited to meet her. Sex didn't change our friendship. Just made us see we really are just friends. Complicated backstory. There was a same-sex female couple in my gaming group, about 10 to 11 years ago. We'd hang out and play video games and tabletop RPGs and card games. They were pretty much the only female friends I had. That group of 5 people was basically my main friends group. After knowing them for about a year, they got drunk one time and we joked around. One of them said something about me joining them in their bedroom, but I laughed it off as the alcohol talking. The following day, sobered up, the other one came back and repeated their invitation. We started a physical relationship where I was the third person in the relationship. We also had to sort of tiptoe around the other friends, so they didn't know we were all sleeping around with each other. In the end, it turned out their woman-woman relationship was in trouble and had been since before I got involved. It eventually broke up, with problems between those two. The last time we were all in the same room together was maybe 9 years ago. The last time I saw either of them was maybe 2017 at somebody else's housewarming. We went from 3 friends who'd throw dice, play cards, and pwn noobs together on Xbox, to being 3 virtual strangers who haven't seen each other in years. It ruined everything. We don't talk anymore. I'm a gay man with a girl best friend, since high school. This happened 7 years ago. I guess I was a little fluid during that period of my life when it happened. But totally prefer only guys now. LOL. I broke up with my boyfriend who was cheating on me and occasionally physically hurts me in public. She was finally separated from her toxic husband who also beats her up. I had a fist fight with this dude one time and he hates my guts and forbid her from seeing me. She became a single mom and she was barely having any sex with anyone at that time cause of juggling work and taking care of her daughter. One night, she was insisting on sleeping over at my place. Since her kid was at her parents' and she didn't want to be alone. I was like, yeah sure. Cool. We ordered dinner, watched Friends, looked at our HS yearbook, reminisced, having wine. Probably more than we were supposed to. When it was time for bed, I told her that she can sleep on my bed. And I'll just sleep on the couch like always. But for some reason she was very persistent on making me sleep on the same bed as it had enough room and I eventually agreed. She played footsies under the sheets with me on my bed. It was kind of awkward at first cause I wasn't responding and pretending to sleep. But her hands were hovering on my chest and going down to my crotch and into my sweatpants. I don't know if it was the alcohol, her hands traveling to the base of my dick, or what. But she looked so pretty when I glanced at her and she just let out this naughty but sexy smile. I caved in and kissed her. We just made out so much then one thing led to another and we had sex. It was actually good. Haha, we kept hanging out for a few more weeks and I was developing some feelings for her. I asked her if she wanted to give it a try. I even thought to myself, I'll be fully ready to take care of her and her toddler if it worked out. But when I poured my heart out and confessed to her, she just ghosted me. I was crying for a month. Found out she has a new husband now and a second kid. They also transferred to my city. And lives at the street next to mine. He turned out to be toxic as fuck but hid it very well. So we entered an abusive relationship where he would badmouth me to everyone, making everyone around us think I was the abusive one while he was aggressive with me and would humiliate me behind closed doors. By the way, I only discovered he was badmouthing me only after the relationship was over and people were treating me differently. It was the worst experience of my life. It only served to learn when to walk away. The guy had a very serious mental health problem, too, which made him slowly descend into very real madness, in the sense that I am not exaggerating when I use the word madness, which would make the cycle of violence very palpable as the moments of violence and moments of happiness would be very extreme. He was either extremely in love or extremely destructive. I ended up having to go to the police to file a restraining order against him, which made him kill himself as soon as he got it. That made his friends and family believe I had killed him while one police officer who took my testimony said what I was describing was considered a type of false imprisonment. I used Google to translate the word carcere privado, which basically means to imprison someone when you don't have the authority to do so. We use this word for cases of kidnapping in Brazil too. Oh, and another police officer said I was lucky, yes lucky, that he didn't kill me before killing himself, something he did have ample opportunity to do on the last 2 days we spent together, so yeah. Very traumatic but sobering experience. It made me have a closer contact with death, which puts everything into perspective, and made me rethink how I was living my life and relationships. Guys, it just doesn't matter if they were nice once, if you had a very good friendship for years before hooking up, or if they are showing love you basically never had. When they turn dangerous, don't think of them as people and just escape. Don't try to be there for them or help, just escape. I mean escape, not leave. You have a very real chance of dying.